Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another Sims info/thoughts video. So this one is just to catch us up on some news that's not related to the Jungle Adventure game pack. The first thing I want to quickly go over is that the Sims Mobile now has its own separate Twitter. So if you're interested in keeping up with the latest developments on that game, definitely go give it a follow. And well, we don't have a release date for mobile yet, but it is supposed to be coming out sometime this quarter. So personally, I'm hoping that'll be out in March, since there's no packs from The Sims 4 scheduled to be released that month. So I think that'd be pretty clever to release The Sims Mobile then, so that it's not really taking any attention away from The Sims 4, and it'll help tide us over until the next quarterly teaser. But now let's talk a little bit about seasons, because recently there was a thread on Reddit where someone voiced their concerns about how with some of the features in the game, they limit them to certain worlds, like insects only in Granite Falls, or how apartments are only available in San Myshuno. And well, is there the possibility of seasons being locked to a single world? Simguru Megs ended up replying to that, saying that we've gotten this question before, and no, we would never confine seasons to a single world. And yeah, it's true, Simguru Daniel did answer that same question, I think it was already a year or two ago. So it's good to know at least that they haven't changed their mind about that. I do remember that with The Sims 3 Seasons, Simguru Graham, who worked on that pack, he said a long time ago, unfortunately I can't find that tweet anymore, but I remember him saying that with that expansion pack, they had a difficult choice to make, because they could have either made seasons be limited to one world, which would have been easier to do, but then they also could have made seasons available in all worlds, but that would have been much tougher to do. And Simguru Graham fought hard for that latter option, and that's what we ended up getting in the end. And without a doubt, that was the best decision they could have made, because part of what I think makes the Seasons expansion so great is that they affect the game on such a wide scale that very few expansions do. While I can imagine that Maxis will bring out University or even just a complete curveball expansion pack like Get Together this year, I'm still hoping for the best, that Seasons will be coming out this year, not next year, the year after this year, and finally end our suffering and for the wait for that to be over. I mean, Seasons ended up being the next expansion pack after Pets for The Sims 2, so I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibility for them to do that again with The Sims 4. Plus, I would love for the Seasons expansion to come out while there's still a decent amount of life left in The Sims 4, because I really didn't like how in The Sims 3 Seasons came out and then there was only about a year left of content after that. I understand Seasons is really complicated to make, but yeah, it felt like a punch in the gut a bit, because then it was just like, oh, only a few months later, Sims 4 is announced, yay, time for that cycle to begin all over again of the begging for pets and seasons. And going back to that same Reddit thread, there were a few other answers from the Simgurus that I found interesting, where Simguru Megs talks about why the insect collection is restricted to Granite Falls, and she says that they wanted insects to be a unique feature to the Granite Falls world. If you can find them anywhere, there isn't really a reason to visit, and it's not very fun or exciting to find the insects if they're just available in other worlds. For the retail stores, their lots have unique functionality tied to the lot type. Retail lots operate on different code than residential lots. Hybrid lot types are not something that we support at the moment. And Simguru House also chimed in as to why strays are not spawning outside of Brindleton Bay. And he says that it was a design decision. Strays are somewhat controversial, some people really dislike having them around the world. The Pets world, Brindleton Bay, has them because it helps that world feel unique, and cats and dogs are kind of sort of the focus of that pack. But they didn't want to force players to have them everywhere, so they made lot traits that allow you to opt in if you want them. And yeah, I actually do kind of understand why they made the insect collection restricted to Granite Falls, Though at the same time, I would have been fine if they had maybe 2 to 4 of the common insects available in any world, because it does just seem kind of weird that apart from maybe like some decorative bees that you see flying around certain neighborhoods, it is kind of strange to me that you just can't collect insects at all anywhere else. And then if they restricted the rest of the insect collection to Granite Falls, including the rarest ones, then I think there's still plenty of incentive to go explore there. And I don't really agree at all with their decision to not have strays outside of Brindleton Bay unless you use law traits. And actually, in my experience, the law traits don't work outside of Brindleton Bay. But I do think they played it a little too safe here. I think it would have been fine if they had the strays still spawn in other worlds. And if they really were afraid that people were going to take it the wrong way, I think it would have still been fine to just have an option in the options menu. And there's one last thing I wanted to talk about. This is actually related to the console version of The Sims 4. I saw this just before I went on my vacation to Sri Lanka, so unfortunately I could not record my thoughts on this, and boy, do I have thoughts on this. So, the story is that a trustworthy German retail site called WOG leaked this release schedule for the upcoming packs that are making their way to the consoles. Though, since this is not officially confirmed stuff, take it with a grain of salt, and yeah, as Sims Community's article mentions here, there's a lot of stuff that says that's going to be released on the 15th, so there is a pretty good chance that it might be shuffled around, maybe even entirely. Well, except for Romantic Garden stuff, because that pack was coming out fairly close to when that article was originally published, and, well, now it's out. It did come out on February 6th. But as for the rest of the release schedule, we have Cats and Dogs coming out on March 20th, Parenthood coming out on April 15th, Toddler Stuff coming out on May 15th, Get to Work coming on June 15th, Outdoor Treat coming out July 15th, Movie Hangout Stuff on August 15th, Backyard Stuff August 15th, Spooky Stuff November 15th, Fitness Stuff November 15th, and Bowling Night Stuff February 15th, 2019. So my initial reaction to this was, what on earth? They've planned so far ahead that they know that they're going to release a Stuff Pack console port on February of next year? I mean, of course, they have to work a little bit ahead of schedule, especially when they're producing new packs from scratch, but these are ports. I can still somewhat understand the expansion packs taking a while because they have more user interface elements to adjust for the console controllers, but for stuff packs? I don't know, that seems really odd to me. And with the user interface stuff, I believe Get Together actually is the most intensive expansion pack so far in that way because of everything related to clubs, so I think that's why it's not on the schedule at all. But one thing that I see is really missing here is Laundry Day stuff, because that pack was voted on by the community, so I think that should have a higher priority, and it's just not here at all. So I think that is a bit of a punch to the gut for the people who are only playing on consoles. And why is Spooky Stuff planned to be released in November after Halloween? I think that's the one that's most likely to change to a different month entirely, because that seems really odd. With Cats and Dogs, I think that is going to be the exact release date. They had the exact release date for Romantic Garden Stuff, and they have a date other than the 15th of the month for this expansion pack too, so yeah, I think that is likely, and at least it is a good thing that that's the next pack they are releasing on consoles, even if we still have to wait over a month for it. But overall, if this does end up being at least 90% accurate, I'm really disappointed that the console release schedule is this slow. I was hoping it'd be a little bit faster, and I feel really bad for those of you who only play on consoles. If it's gonna take that long for console players to get what we already have on the PC, then it's kind of scary to think about how long it will take for newer packs like Jungle Adventure to release. So fingers crossed that, at least realistically, apart from Cats and Dogs release date, that all of this is fake. And that wraps up another Sims info/thoughts video. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about any of the stuff that I talked about in this video, and I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!